G'day folks, how we doing? Dan Clark with you again. This is just still showcasing the spring garden. This is a beautiful native plant called Bulbine bulbosa. Just what you generally call a lily, you know, monocot, clumping, non-woody plant, related to all those lilies and that really large group. And this gets called the native leek, or the golden leek, golden bulbine and things like that. Maybe we could call it the golden onion as well. It's a very common plant in Australia, all through New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania. I think it punches on up into central Queensland, and it gets into the east of South Australia as well. Pretty big range. Most of the time you find it in dry sclerophyll woodlands in heavier clay soils. It doesn't tend to get onto the sand all that much. I've just had a heap of it this week doing some Cumberland Plain woodland monitoring in Western Sydney in these patches that underwent a controlled burn, sort of like a cultural burn, and they're coming up. There's heaps of them coming up, and that's probably due maybe to the fire and then the rain. It's got some historic, indigenous use. The root can be cooked, I think, and it's edible. And I think the seeds are edible too. But just please note, there's a note on New South Wales Flora online that if cattle and sheep and horses eat a lot of it, they can get pretty sick and even collapse. So again, a lot of these monocot-lily onion type things, a lot of them aren't sort of friendly. They're a bit toxic. So maybe just grow it for the ornamental value. I'm really happy with these. I put in a patch of 5, and it's a beautiful spring day here today. I just planted a group of 5. I got them from my local bush care nursery. And they haven't looked back, and this is a real sandy soil. It's a sandstone derived soil, so they will grow on sand, obviously. Reportedly the flowers last a day. I haven't really monitored that. They're flowering like this every day. I think they might last longer than a day, but they're reported to last a day, so I should come and check that out. Maybe I'll see if those 2 are there tomorrow, or those 3. But I agree with some other videos that I've seen online that it's really underutilised. It should be used a lot more. I mean, if you're going to plant something like liriope or dietes, or even bloody agapanthus, I mean, why don't you go for something like this? You can transplant them, you can move them around. Once you've got them, you can divide them up in autumn, and just like any other sort of strappy monocot, and move them around. Get these beautiful typical lily flowers with 6 tepals, sort of 3 petals and 3 sepals, but we don't really know which ones are which. But beautiful star-shaped flowers, and I put these in maybe 6 months to a year ago, and they just haven't looked back. They've just been fantastic. Bees on them again. I've seen European honeybees on them, and just these beautiful long leaves, greeny strappy leaves. And yeah, like I said, you can apparently cook up the sort of root type structure, or the modified root at the bottom, and cook them up. They get called native leek as well, if I didn't say that. Native leek, or golden bulbine. We've got about 5 species in Australia, about 5 species in New South Wales as well, I think, which would be the same 5. And it's also in South Africa. It's also a South African genus. But when you see them in woodland, they're glorious. So anyway, give them a go. Bulbine bulbosa. Definitely a native monocot that can replace a lot of those exotic monocots. Alrighty.